Okay, what's up and welcome back to the channel. This is the Prokon Geek, and in today's video we need to look at how to create your own custom sections using the general design module, also called the general module called Prosec, which is the section properties calculation module, where in this interface you will be able to create your own custom beam, column, or even slab sections, which will be quite useful when we now need to go to tutorial 7 and look at the beam on elastic support design or analysis module. So without wasting too much time, let's just get right into the video. Okay, so as I told you in the introduction, today we need to look at the Prosec module, which is the section properties calculation module. So all you have to do is click on Prosec and it will greet you with an interface like this. Once yours opens, might take some time, so I've already had it open. So at the top you will see it will say Pro Ribbon 1. You don't even have to worry about, but this is the section that you'll be greeted with. And as usual, it has some examples that if you are new, you can always click on and use this if you don't know how to use this module. But in this case, in this videos, we want to show you how to use this tutorial. But to make things easy for you, today we're just going to be creating a custom 300 by 1000 deep beam section, which will be useful when we are now doing beam on elastic support design module. You will see why. So what we're going to do is let's just close this and go back to Prosec. Okay, so back in Prosec, what we need to do is to create a custom section. So I'm going to be showing you how to create a square section today. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to go where it says code there, then you go back and select the plus sign. Once you do this, the next thing that you want to do is go to where it says X radius, and in this case, we want to type in 300. After you're done, the next thing you want to do is go to the Y, and in this case, you want to type 1000. Once you're done, the next thing is you shift back to the X column, which says X radius. In this case, you're going to say negative 300. Please forgive me for that. You're going to type in this column and say negative 300. Now, once you're done, the next thing that you'd want to do is go to the Y angle, and in this case you want to type negative 1000. Once you do that, as you can see to the right of your screen, you've automatically created a section which is a 300 wide beam, which is 1000 deep. So this is the square section that we will need to use or play with when we are in beam on elastic support. So what do you do once you've created your custom section? So the next thing that you would want to do is go to the button. Then you want to say export to section database, right? Or before you even export it to section database, you might want to see the bending properties for yourself. So what is the next step after you have created your section? The next thing that you would want to do is go to output. And as usual, it tells you you're in demo, right? And all you have to do is go to the bending properties. And there, as you can see, it is automatically calculated the section properties for this arbitrary section depending on the input that you gave it. In this case, it tells you the area is going to be 300 to the power of 3 square millimeters. Then these are the second moment of areas depending on the axis. But the one that you need to guess, or the reason why we used this module or did this tutorial, is we wanted to note what is the ultimate second moment of area. In this case, which is IUU, is 25 multiplied by 10 to the power of 9. So when we are going to be using this, since we would want to use it in meters, we were going to multiply this by 10 to the power of negative 12 to bring this down to Q2 meters to the power of 4, which I think is quad meters, but I'm not too sure, which is not cubic, but it's quad meters. So once you're done, this is what you do, and you've seen the bending properties. You can also go in and check the shear and the torsion, right? In this case, it doesn't have anything that's valuable for us, but I'll show you. This is because it's in demo. But now we can go back to input and go to the Prosec button. And in this case, export to section database. Where do you want to export it? You choose the destination. In this case, it's a concrete profile, custom concrete profile. So we choose custom concrete profiles. In this case, we're just going to call this the 300 by 1000 deep beam. Okay. Let's just make deep P capital letters. And in this case, once we want to export it, just click OK, and it will be automatically exported to where we want. As you can see, it is loading. And if you can now see, go to concrete sections, go to custom sections, And if you zoom all the way down, as you can see, there is one section which I created before, and a couple of other sections as well. This is the Prokon Geek section, but in this case, we have created the 300 deep by 1000 deep section, and we now know all the moment of areas that we need, or all the properties that we may need in case we need to use this section, which is what we're going to need to use when we come to beam on elastic module. So once this is done, all you have to do, right, is close the section database, save changes to Prokon user sections database, click yes. And in this case, if you want to save this file, you can always save it as. In this case, we're just going to say this is tutorial 6 section, and we will be done. All you have to do is save the file, and once it's been saved, you are done, and you can always close it now. So this is all you had to do for episode 6 or part 6 or day 6 or tutorial 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the video right here, and then we're going to move on to tutorial 7, where we need to look at the beam on elastic support, which is the one that we need to look at. As in the previous, we looked at the beam and we looked at the concrete, which was the concept. Now we need to come back to analysis and look at the analysis of a beam on elastic support. So without wasting too much time, let's just wrap the video and see you in the next tutorial.